Here we go, here we go. The first episode of Cousin Conversations. Here with my cousin, Dante. I had this in the works for a couple years so far, and I'm finally able to have the equipment and some of the ideas into mind. So, without further ado, let's see if he picks up the phone.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Nothing much, Kenfolk. What's going on with you?
Shit, super fucking bored, but I'm just getting all my daily activities done. I got my first day off after 5 days. I plan on not doing shit today, just get everything organized, but
Yeah, nigga. Since I watched your goddamn YouTube, I've been looking up all sorts of band shit. Nigga, I'm considering it, goddamn.
bruh, it's a good option. Just overall, cause when you get to the point where you have everything and you maintaining, and then you start to go on the second step of having everything, which is having all the money that you kind of spent to get like everything situated. Like it may, even with me, it took me a while to do it, but even within a year, I kind of like got everything I need, and now so quickly, feeling like, especially compared to the past, where even when you even with buying a van, you buy what you need each week, but even with the same thing as like with the apartment, like all that, it never stops, like that
Yeah.
constant 800, that constant whatever goes out. Like with the van, sooner or later that constant stops. So it's like where I used to have to spend like 800 a month to kind of live, even with the baseline of an apartment, and even if that was 675, because I've done that in the past where I paid 675 for a room in an apartment. But overall, it's like I still have to have stuff coming out. So spending, if you dedicated $600 a week or even a month or whatever to like buying what you need for your van beforehand, like do that probably like 8 months, and then you have all the stuff accumulated, then you can make different moves, and it just you just operating a little bit differently. And with, just like I say to my pops, like you'll operate with a certain level of understanding because you made all these preparations. So
Yeah.
it just feels different. Like I'm doing this, what I'm doing for work, and it's super easy. And in some of this way, because I got this on record too, but in a sense, you kind of be mindful of what you say. In the same sense of you mindful what you say at the point, because you know what you're saying to yourself. So you try not to
Yeah.
say what you say to yourself to other people because they might ruin what you got for yourself and the comfort that you have for yourself. But in a sense of it, I'm not gonna be in this position forever. I plan to like switch up in like 4 to 6 months. So it's like then at that time I might tell what I done now that was so significant, easy, and exceptional. But like right now I'm kind of a little bit fighting with myself to say so much on record or whatever, because in the moment people might try to, or it could be where people get a hold of that and they might try to block you. But on the other side of that, anybody where I'm at right now, and it's all on record, so I really don't give a fuck. But hey, hold on 1 second. Uh, nah, okay. I just cause my dad just called me back. But nah,
You can.
I'm hollering at you right now.
Okay.
But nah, cause it's a time and a place for everything, and it's just I don't know. I've been having different complications, but step by step, I'm just thinking like anybody anybody that's where I'm at right now that could possibly attempt to ruin, or they get jealous, or he living like this, or he doing this, is like any of that type of situation. I put myself in a situation where I don't have to worry about being affiliated with nobody that has any type of adverse opinions. And it's just kind of so weird that like it's, I don't know, it's like in a certain way where you kind of need people, or you need to interact with people, kind of like you say, you need to ask for help. But it's a certain level to where you help yourself so much to where like other people's, in a sense, like I had to make a lot of concessions to get to where I'm at. I had to like consider other people's feelings, consider other people's emotions, like in different ways. I learned from the Mario Puzo book. It's only right to make concessions. but and that's only necessary in different ways. But it's like you get to the point where you plan so much, you do so much, you advance so much that where you try to share those concessions, those behoovements with different people. And then after a while, it's like the ultimate one you trying to share it and try to build it and trying to protect is yourself. So it's like I voiced my opinion, and when I first started this option, and then you end up making concessions for different people. But if with me, it seems like that rounded feeling was somewhat correct because it always gets back to that feeling. Or in a sense, if I keep having that feeling, I need to recognize that I have it to try not to I guess try to do something positive on it or whatever. But I get to the point right now, life's so easy, it's making me lazy. And fucking weed so affordable, like it's making me lazy. Like all the stuff that I'm kind of trying to wait for it to happen because I have to, I have to, like it's certain things that you got to do or within you doing, it's certain times that you have to wait for a certain duration of period so this can develop, so this can happen, so this can go through or whatever. So it's like I'm waiting, but you start to realize like I can't have it too easy. And overall, it's like I kept thinking to myself, like I focused on health for the last 10, 20 years, just organically being interested in something somebody said, and that led me to the natural cures they don't want you to know. So it's like with black people having melanin, if you going to sleep, if you get off of work at 8 o'clock, you supposed to be asleep at 8 o'clock. And so called is like some of the shit I don't know is true, but certain shit you aspirely live by. If it was true, man, like I don't know, whatever, however that context of mine go, but still, it's like it was said to me in a certain way that your melanin gets replenished. Remember how I talked to you on the other side, and then later on when I got off the phone with you, the next couple things that I told myself or I exposed to myself, it answered the question that you gave to me.
I
Cause
think so.
yeah, cause you remember you was talking about how do you remember all of this stuff, and I was
Yeah.
yeah, and then like somehow the next couple things that I watched, it was like a episode I believe on Netflix or whichever one that just explained, the mind and all that, and it was just so uncanny that was, I don't know, it came so quickly, but that was the same thing that and I forgot how I kind of lost my conversation, but this man, I don't know, it's just you. Like it's just certain principles that you gotta live by, certain philosophies that'll help you like make shit smart. Cause even the philosophy of you thinking about getting a van, there's a reason to that. There's an underlying like behoovement to that. So
Yeah.
like I don't know, man. I'll be able to listen to this record later and be like, damn, that's what I meant to say or whatever. But like I totally lost my mind trying to fucking express myself. But I get to the point right
Got
now.
overly excited a little bit, basically.
Yeah, because it's just so much to it that it just comes up in different times, and until it comes up, you feel like you lost it. But that feeling of why you said and why you felt that you probably need to fix your van, like or you buy a van or whatever, like I don't know for to go through what I went through, and for somewhat to be a first time I went through it to be able to maintain for that long, but then still for the situation to come up to disassociate. And the first thought was like, I need to fix my van. It's like certain first thoughts that's gonna come to you, and try to make sure you get to them or address them. Because if you really don't address them, like right before I linked, I called you. I called a few people. Nobody was available, whatever. But it's like I watched this piece because the point is so much proven. But this boy said in a different way, just like I said, the frequency of how you listen to it. I listen to The Richest Man in Babylon 3 times a day for 45 days. And this boy said in a different way, he asked his mentor why did he had his book on his desk. And he's like, because I listened or I read the first 2 pages. I'm going to read the first 2 pages for like 60 days or whatever he said, or whatever duration. But it was because of the philosophy behind it. He was like, I read these pages so it can, in a sense, it can become a part of me. And I didn't know that that's what I was having. Well, I kind of knew, but I didn't really cement the result, because basically that was the same prayer in The Richest Man in Babylon that the guy had after he fucked up the money and then realized that his father had gave him the 7 keys of, or the 7 pieces of advice that he had in his little, he had on a tablet, but he didn't ever check it. So when he finally
Yeah.
checked it after he lost all his money and after he was shit out of luck, he finally checked the fucking tablet and said all what he said. So he was like, I wouldn't be content until I knew it by heart. And with the point of reading it over and over again or implementing or whatever, the verbatim of the talk. Okay, what is the verbatim of the action? You know what I'm saying? And when you get to the next step of, talking it out and hearing it, you got to get to the next step of the action to like solidify it and to, join up with your knowledge. And I don't know, it was crazy to think that, I retained it how I did, or it just led up to what it is. But also, you going right now, stuff could be kind of hard, and it's a certain difficulty that comes with that. But don't get it to be so easy to where you get lazy and shit like that. Because I'm up here, on my break or on my lunch, or even just in my job, I can sit in my vehicle because it's not farther away from my office, and my office is not better than my vehicle. My vehicle is much nicer. My vehicle is my office in a sense. So being able to set it up like that is like now, I caught myself the other day where I took a little nap or whatever, and that's all simple. But when I wake up, my foot is numb. On the left side of my foot, on my outer heel or whatever, it's like that was sitting up against something that was solid, and all that whole surface area is all numb. And it's 3-4 days later. And then I get to the point where I was for whatever reason, I ate 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in probably about like around 11 or later. And then I get ready to go to sleep because, I got to wake up at 10 or whatever and go to work for 10. But, I just feel my fucking chest and my heart and all that shit. And it's just, I don't know, I just feel weird. So that prompted me to fucking check on, ask Siri, what is the causes of low blood circulation, and then it told me all of that, and everything that it said I was doing, and because I had an easy life, it was lending me or putting me into that mindset even more so. So, it just made me realize, like I can get to the point where I ignore it, and not necessarily talking shit about nobody, but you kind of be joking on different people, because the other boy that do the van life, he lost his legs and shit like that. And then it get to the point where unknowingly and knowingly I'm going in the same direction. And it's like I can't change it or I can change it. It's like, whether you can or can't change it, it's like you're going in that direction. And I think that's a more emphasis of thought rather than change it or not change it. It's to recognize where you're going so you can somewhat accept it if you don't want to change it. But, man, it's fucked up that my foot's still numb to this day. And, trying to drink more water and stuff like that. But then it comes to the point, if your baseline of your thought is that you black and you need to replenish your melanin from 12 to 2, and you got to be in the REM state of sleep. And for you to be in the REM state of sleep, it's usually about 4 to more hours of consecutive sleep for you to get into that, to that area or whatever. So how can I ever get to that area if I'm getting off at 8 o'clock? And then naturally, I can't unwind for another 2 hours or 2 to 3 hours or like even more than that, just trying to do this or get caught up in doing this or whatever the fuck else. So that's leading me to go sleep at 11, and I'm never getting replenished. Now I got bags under my eyes and everything's switching and changing. Plus the things that I used to fuck with that didn't cause bags under my eyes, didn't result in me feeling and looking like this. I forgot what I was trying to say, but I don't know if it's like, I don't know if I got more to... Actually, I forgot what I was trying to say on that piece. But either way, it's just like, you get to a point where that baseline of thought, like, don't ignore it. Like, I would recommend to you, too, like, because I ignored it all my younger years, but then again, I was younger. And it takes accumulation of effect to really affect you. So, I can't do that no more. I don't want to do that no more. And to the point to, like, it's not the best... I don't know, it's not the best for my time. It's not the value, not the best value or whatever the hell. In a sense, you can do more, you can make more money, you can live longer. Just by, you're going to sleep. Ideally, try to sleep 8 hours each day. But if you ain't sleeping from 8 to 4 in the morning, you ain't really doing shit for your body. So most people don't really realize that, and or they don't take that for their philosophy or whatever the fuck else. But if I adopted that for my philosophy and never do it right, why am I complaining about all this other shit? And then overall, it's like, it's other seeming baseline facts of action that I could take that I know of that I haven't been able to take. So that's why it's always in a different way. It's aspirational views and unique vision because you see it all that you can do, and all the other shit, but you still ain't seeing it. It's still a fucking, I don't know, just a disconnect. So bridging that disconnect in your own way, I would say that's what all it is. But ever since I made that video, it's like from talking and the one that got the least amount of views and shit like that, talking about what you gonna do or what's your major, you know, what'll be a major choice that you do this year that you can reflect on and be appreciative of. That's the same way in these books. I done came across new books since then, but still, like right since then, the whole action, in a sense, my whole trajectory changed because now I'm making 20% on any money I invest, and then and then just other things is opening up. So it's like you'll figure out plans and shit, and sometimes kind of facilitate that. You'll kind of get other people pushed into making thoughts and plans, just in a sense, on the back end of thought, possibly how you did, to where even how you doing, you thinking of different things, because in your past you probably just didn't think of them. It's like in your past you probably didn't even need to utilize it or whatever, or even you as being a boss and own your own shit, like that's an option that you can utilize heavily because you automatically can save money. So if some shit go down or come up, but I mean, just balancing it out and not making it to where it's forever. Because even what I do right now, I get anxiety that I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that. So it's cool to be able to come to my van and relax. But I still like if I have to do this forever, no matter how good it is, it's hell for me. So I gotta keep switching up and going new places or whatever. But I don't know, man. Because, you're getting motivation from others, but then it feels like you influence others, and then it's like that way that you don't want to influence others, but you want, I don't know, I guess you want people to know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. But I got to get my health on. Like, that's my shit. It's just weird. Because everything is good, but you got to keep living. So, in a sense, you got to do your own fucking. So, I don't know how I'm finna manage this one. But everything is pretty good because I went to Navy Federal and started getting my secured credit card, and in 6 months I get the unsecured, and then we about a week away from having a business plan finished up, and then I can go on from there.
Yeah, I was watching a couple of years where you was talking about it and how you was gonna start posting more on your Lee's Garden. I actually went to go find that motherfucker because you didn't have it in none of you don't have the link to your YouTube channel, the one that you post on most of the time. So I went and found it.
You found Lee's Garden?
Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah, because, man, I got so much shit saved up, but you get to a point in different ways where it's like I want to track everything I do now, but I got like a whole year of shit that I couldn't even get out. And that's when I didn't have the equipment to get it out. I was just, recording it with the lesser phones or, the phones that you don't think are worthy to, capture this and that. But still, like, I got all this shit. And it's like now I don't know where I want to go first because I want to do all the van stuff, but my capacity in my computer, man, these computers ain't shit for these. Like I got 250 gig or whatever. I need a 512. So now I got to buy a whole nother computer that's probably another $800 more than this one was, or even more than that. So it's like just to operate, to do shit that you see, to have your views just as aspirational as everybody else. Fucking, bro, it's it's difficult. I'm trying not to, in a sense, stop anything, but it's like literally right now, why would I record anything that I'm doing now? And it looks so much better than the past because it all got to that point. But why would I record anything when I can't even fucking process? I can't do nothing with it. It's just gonna sit there and then get old, and then so. That constant feeling after, in the past, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how to get this shit done. But yeah, I'm gonna start processing that because maybe that'll, with having so many ideas and so many, I guess a lot of potential, it's like I don't have to just focus on van life. In a sense, I don't have to just be out in the woods. So it's like this is my office, and just to understand that you can be anywhere with it. Try to create something that you can, just stay mobile with. Because, man, I don't know. But to the point, like, you have so much, you get lazy. So try not to let that happen, too.
Heck yeah, because I plan on still keeping my car.
Mm-hmm.
And getting the van just so I can have a car that I can use to get back and forth to work instead of moving my van 24/7. I don't know if I'm gonna do an RV park or see if I can find the free stays for like 2 weeks or whatnot. Probably do the RV park for a month and then go stay at 2 different spots for free for 12 weeks. I mean,
Yeah.
for 14 days, just to save more money.
But once you get to the, like, you thinking about it right now, money's not gonna be no issue. You already a boss. Like, to build the level of comfort and understanding and like the experience,
Yeah,
like, spend your money in the same way that you don't spend your money, because after a while, really, money ain't gonna be no issue. And in a sense, once you go for a while, I mean, you already gonna come to it. Not like a lot of people. Like, you ain't gonna necessarily have to be, broke living. You already established a little bit more than I was. So you'll have a whole lot of different appreciate, like, things that make you a little bit more happy, and I guess concessions in a sense. So it's
yeah,
like you won't be necessarily without, but I don't think you're really gonna have to worry about money. And then is if you have like a headquarter type of building as far as how you work or whatever, kind of even like how I'm doing right now, it's like you might be able to stay over there. And this is not the first time I've kind of stayed where I worked. Even even living in a car, I stayed right outside of where I worked. That was marine vacuum services. So it's
yeah,
like I was staying right out there. That was the beginning of living in my car, working right outside my job. I had to be at work at 4 or 7 in the morning. And it's just so weird how you get through that. The impressions that it look on you. And I'm as I reflect on that, like, I'm glad that I held my head up and didn't, like, I don't know,
let it
just
get
didn't
you.
succumb to like the feeling that, like,
Yeah,
nigga, you doing this, like, and this is something bad, or like, I don't know. I just kept pushing, and
heck yeah, shit. I've been looking, bro. Since I watched your video, that's all I've been looking at on YouTube. It's a big ass community of van life,
yeah.
from ambulances all the way down to cars.
Yeah, and bro, you get the same shit. Like, so
Yeah,
when I upgrade the next time, like, and this is so weird because I'm gonna be able to have my business in less than a year after I stop working for other people, in a sense, and then I'll be able to have. And this is mind decisions. I'm working with
yeah,
somebody because of certain reasons, so I can get to certain things. But it's not, for
exactly.
me in my head. It's not the same feeling as working for somebody. And I mean, that's mainly that plan or whatever. But you know, um, I'll be able to have a business, and then I can work right outside of my business, because in a sense, you're kind of like, they ain't gonna probably trip because you're paying towards the business. It's some type of benefit for the business, so you can kind of look
Yeah,
at it that way, and then. I mean, you're just gonna have so much, man. Like, depending, and I would recommend everybody, in a sense, get a high top, because why not? And then also, like, I
yeah,
mean, it's because flat out having more space is cool. Like, you could
yeah.
get, especially you all, I can't remember if you taller than me or whatever, but like, in a sense, if you get us beyond a
Nah,
certain
you
height,
taller than me.
say again,
I'm 5'9". I'm
yeah,
5'9". You taller than me.
nah, bro, you taller than me. Shit, I'm about 68 and a half inches, bro. So that's shorter than 5'9". So you probably 2 inches higher than me. But the thing is like, you, if I could do it differently, and overall it's like I wouldn't, because how else you gonna find a $1,200 for a '93 van, and that's
Yeah.
1,200. Like, that's right in the gate. Wasn't nothing wrong with this vehicle at all. As I gutted it, you still wasn't no rust on it or nothing. So it's like,
Yeah.
you get
Nah,
in where
you did with what you could.
yeah, and that's the main thing about it. And I lived in here 2 years before I caught the van life channels and all that shit. Like, I was freezing my ass off through the winter, and then I realized how I can make it better. It's just
Yeah,
you get tired of not trying, especially when you realize that trying is just listening. Trying is just
yeah,
sitting back and just collecting. So
yeah.
you bro.
This shit here. I've been watching them, bro.
Yeah, I did it. I mean, the same difference. I did it 4 years before I finally, everything made into what it is now. So, and that's why I say, like, I was watching a little while after I bought my van, but the boy I watch, Van City Van Life, go check him out.
Hmm.
He had his van. He bought his a couple months after mine. So it's like, man, we just gotta try. Shit, I
Yeah.
mean, he been shit. He rent free. Man. It's just like the other boy on there. Shout out to the other brother that make the comments, Lenny. But shit, bro,
Hmm.
like, man, it's too easy. Like, and in a sense, if I could have it different, I would get a high top, because that would mean I could literally work out in here and I wouldn't have to leave. Like, I can work out now, but it's limited. So,
Yeah. There's only
just
so much to do within your workout.
yeah. So I mean, How I'm living now is I never imagined I can get here. But you can't get to the point where you ignore some of the things that will cause your life to be so good but turn you negative, or be so good just for you to develop diabetes, or be, be so, it's just all these simple shits. Make sure you stay active,
Yeah.
and don't be sitting around, because your ass wasn't sitting around when you was younger. Don't get into the point where you sit around now and collect that beer belly and not even fucking,
Yeah.
and it ain't even have no beer in it, but it's just all fucking fat, and
Yeah.
and not even think about how to reverse that shit. So it's like I've been trying to focus on that, and it's so much in me that's where it hurts me. It hurts me when I ignore. So this
Yeah.
talking to you and doing different shit, it helps me reaffirm what I know, and it's a big ass feedback loop that I got to continue.
Heck yeah, because I also seen a couple of videos, or I think it was 2 videos I seen where you was working out in your van.
Yeah, just try. Cause I didn't think I
Heck
can do the
yeah.
invert, but I mean it ain't too bad. Like I'm finna start doing like more push-ups and squats. Cause all that sitting on your ass. If you go look at that goddamn that I guess kind of like a go fucking search for ways that the causes of poor blood circulation, it's mainly
Yeah.
sitting on your ass. And like when it said it in different ways, how it closes off your leg muscles and the veins and shit like that. Nigga, I ain't trying to
Mm.
lose my fucking legs. Like I told you,
Yeah.
that boy, he lost his legs, like, and we just watched it. Like, I ain't got the intestinal fortitude to fucking show everybody, hey, here go my nubs. Like, fuck, man. So, like,
Fuck
this
no.
shit's, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got more potential. Like, I can't, I
Yeah.
can't, I can't, I can't ignorantly just fucking, just float into that fucking inevitability.
Heck
So,
yeah. Do you still ride your trike?
yeah, but I just broke my favorite one that made it easy as fuck. So I would have been doing more shit on that. And I mean, if I would have had my trike, I probably would have bought my drone. But since that went down, I'm just back on my other trike. So I
Yeah.
mean, and then it's to the point where I work all day from 10 to 8. If I do that 4 days a week, that's cool. But then it'll be a whole nother day, and these are my tendencies. It'll be a whole nother day of me relaxing, then want to get out there. But it's like I don't know. It's just I gotta figure out a job where I work, or at the latest I get off at 6 or earlier, cause that'll give me 2 hours for the sun and 2 hours to get out there. And when I first started riding my trike, I was working at 7 in the morning at Marine Vacuum Services, and I was homeless, living in my car. I bought a little white Hyundai Galant, and I bought that for like 600. But I was living in that car. First week I caught mold, or mold was in there, and I'm getting sick and shit like that. All that shit's irrelevant. I persevered. But that was the beginning. It was like, man, I ain't got shit to do. I'm fucking shit out of luck. I need something to do to keep me motivated. So I bought my first trike, which is kind of like the model I have currently. And
Yeah.
just all you like that first model trike. I think it's the T8 or whatever. Just a little silver piece that came out probably like 2004. But like that's all I do. I mean, that's what I used to do, or that's what I did. Just ride
Yeah.
that trike, and that helped me, unknowingly get in shape, and then 6 months later give me abs and all that shit. But it gave me a way out of, like I said, like first you smiling, and then you realize you in shape, but overall you realize you're seeing the world and you're not just, in the same position. So that was the
Yeah.
breaking out of like realizing that we got to stay active. And then the
Yeah.
realizing the importance of that shit. Like if I'm in a job that I can't do it, then I'm not gonna be at that job. Like it's life activities that you got to keep up so you can keep living. So
Yeah. Exactly.
like it sucks that in different ways it gets worse when you get older, because you have different things that you got to attend to. But also the realization I'm already goddamn what I am now at my age. If I don't fucking smart it up, how the fuck I'm gonna have children? How the fuck I'm gonna be over there for them to get 18? So,
Yeah.
bro, you stay focused. Don't get no fucking bad habits, because that shit, it'll creep up with you. Oh, this year don't make a difference because you working hard. And like I seen niggas fucking less than 2 years later, fat as fuck. Oh, I got a good job. Oh, I'm on a business. But you're fat as fuck. You got
Yeah.
fucking chins. You look old. You're about to fucking die in a couple years. Like all that fat and flub on your body, it ain't helping. So
No.
I
Hell yeah.
always,
Shit, I was 250. I had to drop down. I'm 190 something now. I'm fluctuating between 190 and 200. But I
bro,
want to get down to at least 180, 170.
they make money off of you killing yourself. So that's why
Yeah.
it's like when I learned all of that shit young, I didn't want to get to that point. just seemingly accept it because that's what that's the shit. You basically accept it if you live in America, but then you got to be
Yeah,
like
they
fucking
promote this too.
yeah. So you got to be super fucking smart about this shit. So it's like, man, to realize that I'm going in a negative direction, like I mean, it gets to a point where seemingly subtly you enact everything you know, but when you get to a fucking certain point, you got to drastically enact everything you know. So it's like I'm tiptoeing in the way that I'm drastically enacting what I'm knowing. It's like, you communicate with people, you tell them your feelings, you let them know, and you let them know your plans, you let them know why, whatever the fuck else. So, I'm getting ready to attempt to do better and shit. I mean, it's the point that you want to show, you want to fucking trap. Only way I can trap everything I do now is keep it very short. So it's like
Yeah,
I'm gonna have some stuff coming up on the YouTube or whatever, but it ain't gonna be no long shit because I ain't got the capacity for it right now.
yeah,
I bought the Final Cut Pro. I bought that cause that was $345. Shit, that shit
yeah,
say $299 on the fucking shit. When you click, that shit $345 to finish up. So I got
yeah,
that, and then I bought the Shift Cam, but it gives me lenses and a holder for my camera that'll give me a better shot on my iPhone. So
yeah,
that'll
yeah.
be coming in just a few days, and I'm gonna keep ordering shit like that. But most of what I do now, seemingly why I don't have money, is because I invest back in my business or invest back in myself. I know in a sense I need to do that to a better extent, not
Yeah,
because not well, yeah, because it don't have to be more money. You just gotta spend your money very wisely and plan and do more. But
yeah,
I just bought the Shift Cam. Yeah, man, I just got to do better. I'm trying to do better, but shit, I already know. Like I can't. I don't know. Shit, I
yeah, yeah.
can. I guess.
I also got a question for you. Do you have a storage too?
Yeah, I had a storage for like in 2016 when I came back from the funeral with my step pops. I ended up,
Yeah,
basically my car got repoed. Shit, this girl, I'll try to use her storage or whatever. But, in different ways, this girl was like, you ain't shit, you can't even get a storage. So I was like, bitch, I got a storage. so so I ended up going to get the storage and, had that secured or whatever for a while. So it really makes it convenient because I was able to, like, basically, if I get any packages delivered, it goes straight to the storage and they're sitting there all day, because that's the business. And then I got my mailbox over there too. So when you find you a location that can have your storage, I have two storages over there currently. But either way, when you got the storage and then you got your mailbox, I pay every 3 months for my mailbox, and I've had that for about 2 or 3 years. Or
yeah,
yeah. So that provides me with I applied for the enhanced driver's license because they were talking about you need it. And shit, I don't know what happened with that, but still I applied for that. And since I had the address, it'll let me get it. So it's like I'm completely set on that. And then last week, I went to the Navy Federal and opened up the credit card. So I'm getting ready for the business account in just a few months. But
yeah. Because right now, I got two closed credit cards. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get another one at the moment, but I'm gonna end up trying for one just so I can figure out a way to build my credit back up, and then hopefully pay those two that's closed, pay them hoes off, or let them bitches go and see if I can reapply for them or find some way. Because those are actually two good credit cards I had. I had a Chase Sapphire and I had a Discover Chrome. But situations had me spend them, max out those credit cards just to try to survive.
yeah,
But it's hard to try to get back on paying the motherfuckers. But right now, I've been looking at this van shit. I probably got like 2 more months in this apartment. My credit fucked up, and I want to get a van too. So
look
I was
at you,
looking.
bro. You set, nigga. You with those parameters, and you can make those parameters good for you or worse for you. But still, and that's why it's like with my so-called quote unquote homelessness, I knew a long time ago that I could use it to my benefit. So that's why I held off from doing certain things. Anytime I want, I can get into first class and first class and whatever covered or whatever. But it's a greater plan, and then it's just like you can figure out a way to preserve what you have available to you now, so you can still have it available to you. So
Because I'm trying to do the van life thing for hopefully a year or two, stack up as much money as possible, and during that time being, make good investments. Probably still do the van life thing. It depends on how far I go, but I'm thinking about a year to 2 years just to save up as much money as possible.
See,
And
after
also,
that, but after that, you're gonna have a bug out van. So you're gonna have your money, and then you're gonna have, everything else.
yeah.
So you got
And
your business.
I've been looking at the hot tops. I've been looking at the Sprinter Extended, and what else was it? It was another. I want to say the Transit Extended.
Yeah.
I was looking at those. But I was looking at how much it costs just to get everything built out right. So
Yeah, because the thing is, like, find you, in a sense, you start looking for high top vans. And even
yeah,
if you wanted to go with the specialty of a Sprinter, start looking for you those, and then see the baseline price of, just the entry. I'm
yeah,
just guessing off my head, it'll probably be anywhere from 3,000 on up. So once
yeah,
you secure that, then you got a van. It's like you could have any type of, like, it's weird in a sense because I wanted a professional build and all that shit. But in my own head, my shit almost looked professional. Like, it ain't
yeah.
that fucking bad of a job done with no experience and just looking. So you'll figure out exactly how you want it, and then just kind of go for.
That's your first vehicle. That's your first van life vehicle. So
Yeah,
that's basically prepping you for what you want to do when you get your next one. Your next one gonna be lit as fuck.
yeah, cause I ain't really do nothing. Like, I really dialed it back in this whole build. Like, I should have got
Yeah,
my lights installed professionally, but it's not that I didn't want to. It's just, that's how life works. Some things you
yeah,
just don't do. So, it's kind of like I regret not doing it, but still I can live with not doing it. And
yeah.
that's kind of like with all the connections of people in the world. It's just so many people we got to get to.
Heck yeah. And then also, I was thinking about it like right now it's a little hustle for me. So when I start getting my job to where it's Monday through Friday on the weekends, if I try to do the free living for like 2 weeks, probably at national parks, I probably do videos and stuff. I want to try to get an electrical scooter and a fucking drone
Bro,
and do
see,
on doing that stuff.
yep, because that drone is barely, like, probably at all together probably like less than 800, and you'll have some change left over. And then
Yeah,
all you do is you save for it. I'm pretty sure you
yeah,
can save up $25 a week until you get it. So
yeah,
that type of breaking down is all we need. Because overall, supposedly in different ways, or just coming up, anybody, irrelevant, black, whatever, you come up with a little bit. You start with a little bit. So,
yeah,
seemingly we never have as much. So just start with a little bit. Start with a little plan. And that's what that richest man in Babylon allowed me to do. It allowed me to see the plan. And then I didn't even realize that I was doing the plan. So,
yeah,
just save up just a little bit, and then you gotta know why you're going to work. Like, that whole time I was listening to that 3 times a day, that fucking working at Emerald vending, or, what is that, Evergreen vending, that
yeah,
shit wasn't cool, but it was all right. And they switched up the name. I ain't hating on none of them. I'm just saying, like, that shit it was hell for me. But I maintained and I did it for a certain reason, and I got through it with an exceptional story. So just keep planning and try to find some books that'll help you along the way, because it just multiply your time. Shit,
yeah. That Man of Babylon, I gotta look that up because I want to look at that. I want to read that or listen to that.
yeah, just reiterations, because like that, the frequency, that's all it needs. And just what that other boy said. These other boys, they talking on this channel like they millionaires and shit like that. The shit makes so much sense. You got to get to the next level of understanding, like, you got to get to some type of understanding, because certain people will tell a template, but we can't even try their template to, like, benefit from that, and then discard that, and then benefit from this. But you solidified that, so
Yeah,
just keep jumping around. So, like, once you get your van set, shit, 2 months after, 2 years after that, you're gonna have that action that you take from living and learning that type of way, and then it's just you'll be able to stack that on with the other stuff and the other stuff. Cause right
yeah,
now I got the running water, and I'm in the low top. I can
yeah,
wash my ass in my comfort of being by myself, which I've done in the past. So it's like,
yeah.
shit, ain't nobody here to really hate on you except for yourself.
Heck yeah, nah, but shit, when I talked to my moms about it and my sister, they was down. They was like, "Do what you want to do." And I talked to another bro of mine. He was already, when I told him about it, he was thinking, he was like, "Bro, you can make so much money off there. You can do loads and stuff." Like, bro, I already have my own business I'm trying to start. I could just get into that, save more money.
Instantly,
Yeah,
cause
and
you already making more money. You know,
yeah,
shit. So, That's the thing is, like, when I made this plan a while back, my plan was just to work for somebody for a year and save money. But then I got into the situation where, in a sense of it, I could aspirely do what I want and make money, or and save the same amount of money. So it just kept going to different levels of, belief, and that belief came because I exposed myself to believable things, to people doing things that they had to do, and the way that they had to do it. Okay, it's believable that he actually did this. It's believable that this action can yield to this action, and just trying not to end up in other certain places. That's like me still eating fucking a bag of Oreos every day, or sugar every day, a fucking symphony bar every day, when it's an apple every day, keeps the doctors away, and then acting like, oh shit, I lost my leg. Like, nigga, don't just walk off the cliff. Bro, it's fucking crazy, man. And I found myself, I didn't know how far, and you realize on hindsight how close you come, and even just not even on hindsight, you just you realize on hindsight how lucky you are, but nigga, I couldn't do that. I couldn't just keep being susceptible to that fucking chance. So I got smart. Like, I'm working on this nigga land and shit, and I'm like, hold on, I remember when he didn't even have a van, and now he got a van. He got his van because of me. But then again, I'm working on his land. I remember when he didn't even have an apartment. Like, I remember when we was both shit out of luck. I remember when he made his decision to live in his apartment, and I made my decision to live in my van. Okay, now I'm working on his land. He got a van. But what is the difference? He got a fucking business. So, I had to switch up and, try to see if I had an opportunity there. And basically I do. So, if I was, you just never know, man. And then again, like, if it wouldn't have came through on that, I would have kept striving and pushing for something else to come through on. Like, that's what you got to do. But I already know now, it's like, and that was from the game of life and how to play it. And in a sense, I know now because of life and how it's playing out. But overall, it reminds me of a template of action. So I already know the believability of what I'm saying. And right now, it's like, one time I was listening to this just like less than 2 weeks. I was walking through, about to go to my van, and for some whatever reason, I was stopped and I was crossing a dollar store or whatever, and I looked to the left, and I was just scanning the store for no reason, and then I looked, something drew my eye to a sign that said believe, and it just said believe. It was a little wooden sign. And for whatever reason, at that same time, I was barely reflecting on that. I got drawn back to what I was listening to, because I was listening to an audio book, and it was saying the same shit, believe and belief, and this is, it comes from belief. And I was like, what the fuck? How is this uncanny that I'm looking at this at this exact moment and this coming on here? So in a sense of it, a couple days later, I ended up, I didn't get to put the sign up because I wanted to paint it or whatever and put it in a certain place. But I end up putting it in my little pantry area. And my pantry area is kind of like a little a fucking box that I sit on, and it's clear. So in a sense, I'm sitting on belief, and that's what you really got to sit on. That's what you got to stand on. You got to stand on your own belief and your own philosophy to get through. And when you ain't got nobody around, in a sense, you do your own fucking. So what do you live by? What type of stroke are you confident in? But shit, it's just.
Hell yeah. I've been looking at that shit for real.
So you got it, man. I'm glad that you making different choices, because that's all it is. You just gotta figure out how to be comfortable in your choices.
Heck yeah, because I was thinking, like, I was doing the math, like, I'm paying close to 20 grand for this apartment.
Nigga, and that's what the fuck we don't realize. I'll be reflecting, how I got all this shit? Because I ain't put 30 grand into these other motherfuckers. It's like, it's fucking crazy. Oh, man, you got it.
17 grand could have went towards something else.
Yeah, man. You could pay off your car in 1 year, so, or at least pay half of your car in 1 year, and that looks a whole better to your credit. So, and either at the age you are now, you might as well boss up, pay off your debts. Because the only way my shit cleared to where I'm in this position, and it all comes from a combination of options and just the way life plans out. If it wasn't for my mother asking me that I want to get put on her insurance, and me taking that option, and then also at the same time of the new year certain things that I had on my credit that hindered me from getting and having lower rates, aka exactly what you're going through now, that took 7 years for it to clear off my records, aka the exact time in in life right now. So my mama added me on there, shit cleared off my record, and now I got a 701 on one of my sides. I think the highest it was like a 720, and then on the other side it's like a 650 or whatever on one of them pieces. So even with that, it's just an introduction into higher credit. So I was fucking surprised as fuck. I was all static and shit. So to do
I
stuff,
was in the sevens. Now I'm in the fives.
yeah, bro, it go quick. And like in that point of like we gotta get. I would highly get established contact with them. The two credit cards that you owe, at least start paying $20 a month, because you can guaranteedly make that. Like that's flat out. Like you got to be responsible somewhere, and then overall, that is a better story to say I was at least responsible at somewhere when I decided that I needed to start assuming responsibility for this, and I made an attempt. Although it wasn't exactly what was needed or whatever, it was still something going towards, clearing my future. And with that richest man in Babylon, that whole story of how, in that reiterated story, it was like 2 or 3 different stories, how they got themselves out of poverty and debt. But those stories, it just gives you a template of why and how and what you do to receive, and like it's way more that you receive than monetary. Like, just in a sense, it builds a man. I forgot how you say, like, how can you fancy yourself a man if you neglected your debts and let your wife run off back to her family because you blah blah blah. Like, god damn, that shit, it just really slapped the fuck out of me in so many different ways. So, but yeah, just I would recommend go get back on that, because it's gonna take longer and it's gonna be more detrimental for you to get 7 years later. So just, and how much may those be?
Now it's roughly around 10 grand.
Okay. Well, that's understood. And ideally speaking, like I got another shot to get my credit right. So I put up like 395 for the secured credit card. I put another 100 in my checking account. And I'm going to have that for my business in my future or whatever. So I'm, because then after 6 months, it goes to 1,300 at the minimum. And then it may go higher. So even with that, I have another shot. So you got to be disciplined. And what people telling me, if you in a sense, never go over 40% of your 10,000. So never use over $4,000. And then whatever you use, make sure you almost, like if you use say $2,000 off that, pay $500 within 2 weeks. Or understand that's what you have to do, aka to so-called build credit. Do shit like that, because if you don't
pay $250 every week, so it shows that you made 2 payments at one time, whether it be the 500. It'll also boost up your credit score.
Yep, yeah, because we gotta show that we're operating with money. So when you operate with money, you can't be scared to give, and that's what's like right now. I'm trying to save up till I get to 100,000, but I gotta start learning how to operate with $1. And how do I make that $1 into 50 cents more, or just make some type of positive income on it? So just keep trying, and maybe some stuff will get more clear on what you could do and things like that. Cause there's so much shit that I don't know, and I already know I don't know. Like I'm starting to get stressed out at the shit I don't know, but but it's fun.
Yeah, but nah, shit. I've been looking at these motherfuckers. I don't know if I should get the Mercedes, the Ford, or the GMC. Or the Dodge.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be too much, especially if you were to get something somewhat new with some type of warranty on it, so you can, you just won't have to worry about much on that side. Because I have issues right now with my van, because I've never fixed nothing since I bought the bitch 5 years ago. like I fixed stuff, but I still haven't fixed stuff. Like literally. So I ain't gonna get into how much I literally ain't fixed shit. It still runs, but still I ain't fixed shit on this thing. So it's like I won't be ignorant to know I didn't fix shit, and I'm gonna go try to be like everybody else and go try to do what I know I shouldn't do. So you got to kind of temper your shit to stay in your own lane and stay safe. But I do have AAA, so you get the AAA. I got the RV AAA, and shit, just recently I locked my keys in my vehicle, but figured out how to do that. And it's a motherfucker how easy it is to get in these vehicles, bro. So shit, just make sure you make sure you have your cameras and all that shit set up. And I was shout out to Dual X. He helped me with the idea of fucking, well, not personally or whatever, but still, I watched his videos and came up with the idea for the sync and shit like that. So I'm gonna end up watching his other video where he installed some cameras on his vehicle, so you can check out that one. But yeah, shit, man, cause you never know, man. I lock my shit out and have my keys, just looking at my other key, and then shit, the other guy, instead of having the AAA people come out here, the other brother was able to get in this bitch quick as hell in like 3 seconds, so, comparably speaking. So it makes me not even want to go out and have so-called fun on the weekends or some shit like that, because I'm trying to protect my investment. It's like I can't really put myself in different areas or different circumstances. It's opportunities. But I appreciate the conversation, man. You got I ain't trying to act like it's anything formal. These niggas will know it ain't nothing formal. But I was able, cause I bought the new I bought this Audio, and it's like this new square recorder. It was about $220. And I bought it while I was still working at Brinks. And I finally pull it out now. And it's like you can layer, like, I don't know, you can layer the music and the shit. Like, you can make your whole studio performance off this one little fucking audio piece. So I was trying to check and see if it recorded the conversation, because I had it earlier where I was the piece that I talked to my pops on. I had to record off of like 2 different editors, and then I'm glad I downloaded 2 different editors. But the first editor, it kept cutting off at different points. But end up finishing out that 52-minute conversation, just like this one is here. That was like 4 or 5 clips. So then I had to edit all that stuff together. So, but this one right here is all one clip, all with this Audio. And shit, I didn't even think it would still record when I'm talking on the phone. So I'm glad it didn't interrupt that. But yeah, it'll basically make it to where in the past where we was gonna do these cousin conversations, I didn't have the hardware, so now I got the hardware. So
yeah, I seen it was the one that popped up. You was having a convo with somebody
on the cousin conversations.
No, I think the one you posted probably like a day or 2 ago.
Yeah, that was from my pops. And yeah, I mean, man, I almost got mad. I was about to start throwing shit because I got halfway through the edit and then something fucking deleted, or because like when you move stuff around, it just be altering stuff. I can't explain it, because I was using the Movie X, the iMovie on the MacBook to try to fucking edit this stuff. So like I almost got irritated with that, but it get to the point like I got the new software. It's $300. I don't really kind of understand it, so it's like you still you produce with what you got, and eventually it'll get better. And that's why it's in a sense you use your thinking you got now, and it'll eventually get better because you'll learn new things and just different points. And every day you trying for your goals and stuff like that, so that even that same information will make you think differently. And that's what I kept realizing. That's why I think the frequency of it is, a major way for you to realize. And then just be able to get yourself to do. Because when you gather up like 100 reasons to do rather than just that one for that first day, it may, impact you differently.
Yeah.
But man, shit, man. I appreciate you talking, man. All this shit from fucking feeling like I'm about to have diabetes type shit to everything else, man. I gotta try, man. So.
Hell yeah, shit. I'm over here looking at a newer one now that you said it. But shit, I'm trying to find a black one, but it seems like the Premiums is the only one that's gonna be black.
But think about this one though, like with you already having a business, you can make sure you go apply for your business credit, and that's automatic on that different levels. So you go get your business credit, you can possibly use that for the business because it could be all in one. Or even so, you get ready to get your business credit, you go to, you got a credit union set up yet?
I got Navy Federal, I got Emico, and I got Capital One.
Okay, listen to this one.
Business account.
Yep, because the Navy Federal, in a sense, because I just signed up. My mama got that, and I think from her daddy. Basically you should be able to get it, since I don't even know how the fuck you got it, but either way.
I got it through a friend.
Okay, too easy. But with that, because I don't know how it will interact, but either way, yeah, see if you can go up in there to the physical location and see if you can get a secured credit card. I think their minimum balance is $200 to start. After 6 months, they'll go for a reevaluation and it may increase. But maybe that could help you start to build your credit. And it's not just a point of utilization, it's a point to build your credit. So, in a sense, like it's weird being in this mode of having this van and operating with $1, acting like you got $1 all the way through it. And then you just emerge on the other side with all this shit plus way more than $1. Or even if you still have $1, it has more value. So it's like, just try to face it fearlessly, because that richest man in Babylon really helped me reevaluate, kind of like fucking tuck and tail, or just, I don't know, I just thinking, like I appreciate Jim Rohn for saying that shit, and I appreciate myself now for listening so much like I did. So, bro, you got it, man. Just plan for that shit, and man, you got it. Fuck, man.
It's showing me right now, if I was to get a brand new one, a 4-cylinder diesel, it'll be around 58 and probably like $1,000 a month.
Nigga, and that's gonna be automatically easier for your whole life. And then even if you didn't get especially right now, if you save up a little money to put down on it, you can negotiate. Or I was think about this one. This is exactly what I wanted to do, and this will happen in my future. I want to pay everything 3 months in advance. So you save up right now, say if it's 68 or 58, you save up probably 10,000, and then you save another 5,000. So you already have your monthly payments guaranteed for a certain duration. Plus you saving them other money as you living out that duration. But you gotta set it up first. In a sense, you gotta have a perpetual harvest, and that's what you'll learn on the Lee's Garden. Soon as one thing goes in the flower room, you got 2 weeks later, you got to put another one in the flower room. So things can continuously be able to come down after they go up. So, I mean, because right now, it's like, once I get to my house, pay everything 3 months in advance, I won't ever have to worry about being late on anything. And overall, I have my storage paid up like 2 or 3 months in advance right now. And then I have my same with my cell phone and stuff like that. So to be able to operate with that, because we have money, like that $200, why didn't we do it in the past? Pay $300 for the cell phone bill rather than worry about each month and then worry about what may happen then and worry about what may interrupt it. And especially while we have the chance. And to realize this realization, the whole time I was working at Brinks, towards the latter part, I was making $1,500 or $1,000 a week. I never once filled up my van full of gas. Not once. And then towards, I quit working with them. And then for whatever reason, I get ready to, I'm going to fill up, because I realized that. I'm like, realize how foolish that kind of seems. So then I finally fill up my fucking tank. And I'm like, damn, like, that's how people operate, It's like so. But, I mean, and that's kind of like just filling up your mind with shit. But, like we got all this available to us. And that's the reason why it's kind of struck me to use the YouTube as I used it, because all this information is sitting right here and I still don't know. Like, how they saying all this shit and I still don't know. So, man, yeah, just keep going, bro. You're gonna have an interesting journey. And plus out there, it's a different, like, your van, how it's gonna be set up for your environment, that shit gonna be completely different. So, this shit, go explore, man. That's what keep me woken up in the morning, having it for another chance to do some shit. But we do got these 2 bushes now. We finna get those set up. Everything is just how it gotta go. So for the most part, I'ma act like I'ma conclude this. This has been hip hop talking shit, cousin conversations with my cousin Dante. I appreciate y'all that's listening. I appreciate Dante overall. And man, just keep doing what you're doing. Hold up on a second, bro.
Sure.
And I think, let me see. I just pushed this bullshit ass button. Yep. Oh, hold on. Oh, no, it kept recording.